Hello students, and welcome to another wonderful week in online education and teachings of the living prophets. I have to say we're talking about two of my favorite apostles, Elder L. Tom Perry and Elder Packer, and I just wanted to show you something, and that's why I'm doing a screencast of Brain Honey at the moment. As you come into lesson 7 and as you click on office hours discussion board, I wanted to make a couple things clear. I've noticed some of you have posted questions on course discussion board questions or on past discussion board posts. Try to post all your questions under the week that we're dealing with. And so you've noticed right here that I've put a little thing, you're always welcome to post questions here. Please do them on this discussion board, as I'm not usually checking discussion boards of the past, and that's true. Sometimes I find a question from week 2 or back in course introduction in the discussion board that I missed. And as always, if you need my immediate attention, please call me at 862-8615, area code 435, or send me an email and I'll respond within 24 hours. And so I appreciate it. Now, I have received about 44 emails a day the last couple of days, so if I've missed one of you in a response to email, send your email again just to make sure I haven't missed you. Sometimes I read them and forget that I haven't responded. One thing I want to show you is if you look over here and you click on the President Packer reading, and you come down in the manual, of course it'll load, it'll give you some different things. I'm really serious about this aspect right here, about praying for guidance and inspiration before and after you read. This is something that you have the choice to do on your own, not something that's necessary to be done for a grade. And true spiritual learning will come as you choose to do things that aren't necessarily required in the grade part of this class. And so I invite you to really pray for spiritual understanding. Also, there have been some questions about quote journals. I recognize some of you have done any quote journals or have quotes that have stood out to you in this reading, and you're welcome to use it. But that some of your quote journals are done in Word documents or in other things that have to be attached and sent to me by email. That's absolutely okay. If it's done on a blog or something of that nature, that's ideal, and you can just upload the URL and the assignment posting. Otherwise, send me an email. And then do me a favor and make sure that I give you feedback for what you sent me. So, knowing that, I just want to look at one other thing. Today we're going to go into some President Packer, or this week, some President Packer discussion boards, and here's the questions that I've posted. I wanted to just briefly share my favorite experience that was personal with Elder Packer. This is the questions that I have is what teachings do you feel are themes, and what has been your favorite Elder Packer-esque talk or quote, and why. I love Elder Packer's teachings on the Spirit of the Lord, and I love what he speaks to in Revelation and the themes over the years that have come through some of the most landmark addresses ever given, one being the candle of the Lord. My favorite personal experience with Elder Packer was at BYU, Idaho. He had come to speak in a devotional, and Elder Bednar had all the students in 1999 gathered 15 minutes early before he arrived. And we were all sitting in the Hart Gymnasium and sitting there when he came in, and he was so impressed that he said he'd speak specifically something that was different than what he thought. And he gave a talk, and he even titled his talk called the 20-mark note. And he told in that talk how Elder Bednar had, as a young missionary, given him 20 marks when he was traveling through Germany visiting missions, and that Elder Bednar had chased down the train and through the window as the train was driving away gave him 20 marks because he felt the spirit that Elder Packer would need them. And while traveling through East Germany, they came across some police of the communist regime from Russia, and they were going to kick them off the train because their papers weren't in order, and Elder Packer used the 20-mark notes to bribe the guard. That was my favorite experience with Elder Packer, and I literally sat about 5 feet away from him when he gave the talk, and that was powerful to me. And so make sure you respond here. And lastly, you're going to also ask to respond to Elder Perry, and I have a question here. Elder Perry, I have 2 questions. If you have a personal experience with Elder Perry, I'd love for you to share that in response to this. But if not, the question I'd like all to respond to are, what are some personal insights or experiences you've had with Elder Perry's teachings? My favorite Elder Perry story happened at the Institute in Salt Lake City for the University of Utah as he came to give a presentation, and while walking through the hall with seminary teachers and institute teachers just loving him there, he stopped a student who was, well, the student was stopped, but he stopped to talk to a student who was in that hall, and the student had a dyed goatee. And Elder Perry grabbed his goatee and said, "You realize President Hinckley will be speaking here tonight. How will you feel when he sees you with this? And then he tugged on his goatee. That's one of my all-time favorite stories. So, and apparently there's something similar that happened at Logan Institute too, if somebody's heard a story similar to that. So good luck this week. I hope it's awesome for you. Sorry for the long little discussion here on this video. I'm going to post it on YouTube so all should be able to access it. Thanks so much.